welcome back to our YouTube channel. So before we begin, I just want to thank you guys for your continuous support in this channel, no? Because without you guys, hindi na matutuloy itong channel na to. Pero sabi ko nga, kahit na ilan lang kayo nanonood still, I'll push through every topic as much as I can, no? As long as may oras pa ako, i-record natin itong mga to. Liwanag? So thank you guys for believing in me. So once again, our topic for today will be all about compound financial instrument. But before we go to compound financial instrument, let's first discuss what is a financial instrument. Yung normal, no, na financial instrument muna. Wag muna tayong pumunta dun sa compound para mas magets natin yung compound. Maliwanag ba? So according, no, to International Accounting Standard number 32, paragraph number 11, a financial instrument is actually a contract. Again, this is a contract, no, that gives rise to a financial asset to one party, which is normally yung tinatawag natin na investor, and a financial liability, or, please take note of the word or, no, or equity instrument to another party, which is yung tinatawag natin na issuing corporation. Okay? So, sir, bakit naman kapag issuing corporation tayo, dalawa? Because apparently, dalawa yung pwede nating i-issue eh. Pwede tayong mag-issue ng bonds, and then pwede rin tayong mag-issue ng equity instrument or yung tinatawag natin na shares. Nagkakaintindihan ba? Well, we already discussed, no, financial liability or bonds here on the same channel. Liwanag ba? Pero kapag asset tayo, no, kapag investor tayo, see to it na whether bonds man or shares ang ating binili, parehong asset lang yon. That's why meron tayong tinatawag na investment in equity, securities, and then meron din tayong tinatawag na investment in debt securities. And both investment are part of our total assets. Nagkakaintindihan ba? So kapag investor, walang problema, parehong asset. Pero kapag issuing corporation, kailangan mo munang malaman whether financial liability ba yan or equity instrument. Nagkakaintindihan ba tayo? Ngayon, pumunta tayo doon sa tinatawag natin na compound financial instrument, no? So, bakit siya natawag na compound financial instrument? Anong kinaiba niya doon sa mga normal na financial instrument natin? Okay? So, according, no, to International Accounting Standard number 32, paragraph number 28, a compound financial instrument is actually a financial instrument. Again, this is a financial instrument that contains, what? Both a liability and an equity element, no? An equity element from the perspective, no? From the perspective of the issuing corporation or the issuer. So, ang ibig sabihin ngayon, kapag sinabi natin compound financial instrument, contract pa din po ito. Don't get it wrong because it is still a financial instrument that gives rise, no, to a financial asset on the point of view of the investor, but on the point of view of the issuer or the issuing corporation, it gives rise, no, to a financial liability and, take note of the word and this time, no, and equity instrument. That is why, as defined by paragraph number 28, a compound financial instrument is actually a financial instrument that contains both a liability and an equity element, no, from the perspective of the issuer. So, kapag normal na financial instrument, or lang yan. Pero kapag sinabi nating and, compound financial instrument na yan. Nagkakaintindihan? So, ano yung mga examples natin, no, ng compound financial instrument? Common example will be the bonds payable, no? Once again, common example. First will be the bonds payable issued with what? Issued with share warrants. Okay? And then, yung pangalawa is yung tinatawag natin na convertible bonds payable. Okay? So, dito, para lang tayong nag-issue ng shares, kaso may kasama siyang equity element. Sir, sa bonds payable, issued with share warrants. Ano po yung equity element? Obvious naman, no? Yun yung share warrants. Sir, ano ba yung mga share warrants na yan? Well, kapag sinabi natin share warrants, these are actually the equity instrument that can be used to acquire the shares of the issuing corporation, because sometimes it is difficult, no, to acquire shares of that corporation, especially if that corporation is famous, or especially if that corporation is actually a close corporation. You with me? So, if you are actually a holder of share warrant, see to it that you are entitled to buy shares. Nagkakaintindihan ba? That is why if we issued bonds payable with share warrants, nag-issue tayo ng compound financial instrument. On the other hand, convertible bonds payable is a bonds payable that is convertible into what? Into ordinary shares, into an equity instrument. That is why the equity element here is the conversion or element, no? Or conversion portion. You with me? So, sir, bakit naman tayo mag-i-issue ng bonds payable na may warrants or ng convertible bonds payable? Bakit hindi na lang bonds payable? Bakit pa natin papahirapan yung sarili natin? Well, we issue these kinds of instrument because sometimes it is difficult, no, to sell a normal bonds payable. That is why we have to use a sweetener. Anong ibig sabihin ng sweetener? Ibig sabihin, right, pang-enganyo, no, pang-encourage sa mga investor bumili ng bonds. So, ang ibig sabihin dito, para mas maengganyo sila na bilhin yung bonds natin, asahan mo na minsan yung bonds natin, ini-issue natin kasama ng ibang warrants or share warrants, or nag-i-issue tayo ng convertible bonds payable. Nagkakaintindihan ba? So, what will be the accounting problem here in compound financial instrument? Well, according to IAS number 1, once again, according to IAS number 1, dapat daw yung mga liability natin and equity are what? Are presented separately, no? Again, these are presented separately. That is why, if nag-issue tayo ng compound financial instrument, and sabi natin kanina, no, meron po yung financial liability and equity instrument, our problem here is actually the allocation of the proceeds. So, how to allocate proceeds, no? So, lagay ko dito, how to allocate proceeds. So, listen very carefully, no? So, here, bibigyan na lang kita ng step-by-step procedure. Step number 1, of course, again, step number 1 is to compute the proceeds. Siyempre, kailangan mong malaman kung paano mag-compute ng proceeds. Sir, ano ba yung proceeds na yan? Well, proceeds will be equal, no, to the quoted price if given. Again, this is equal to the quotation, no, of the bonds if given. And then, if hindi given, well, that's equal to the present value of the bonds. Ano ba yun? Well, pwede rin naman na instead of quoted price, kung magkano man yung asset nating na-receive. Just in case non-cash asset yung ating na-receive, no? Next will be step number 2. Step number 2 is to compute, no? Once again, step number 2 is to compute the fair value of the financial liability. Nagkakaintindihan ba tayo? But see to it na yung fair value of the financial liability na to must be the fair value without the equity element, no? Ibig sabihin, kailangan given sa problem, magkano ba yung fair value ng bonds without the equity element? Aliwanag ba? So, hindi pareho yung number 1 at number 2, because sa number 1, with the equity element yun, that's the total proceeds, pero sa step number 2, without the equity element na tayo dito. Then, last step will be step number 3. What is step number 3? Step number 3 is to compute, no, the allocated amount to the equity element. So, kailangan nating malaman magkano ba yung allocated amount to the equity element, no? Well, here, sa step number 3, see to it na always residual ang ating sagot. Sir, bakit naman? Because meron tayong normal accounting equation, that is the revised accounting equation, no? That's actually equal to assets minus liabilities is equal to equity. So, always equity is the residual amount. You with me? That's why if the proceeds will be equal to the financial asset, while the liability is the fair value of the liability, see to it now that na yung always amount allocated to the equity element is the residual balance. So, sir, ibig bang sabihin, fair value of the equity element is normally ignored? Yes, that's correct. Wanag? So, step 1, compute the proceeds. Step 2, compute the fair value of the financial liability without the equity element. Then step 3, compute the allocated amount to the equity element, and that's the residual amount, no? So, we'll discuss the exercise of share warrants and conversion, no, of bonds payable through the problems na. So, let's now move on here in problem number 1. So, on December 31, 2028, Pepper Corporation issued 1,000 of its 10% 10-year 1,000 face value bonds with share warrants at 103, no? Each bond carried two share warrants. So, bawat bond, no, ilang bonds? Bawat isa sa 1,000 bonds, may dalawang share warrants. Then, each warrant entitling the holder for one share of Pepper's 20 par value ordinary share at a specified option price of 25 per share. So, this is actually the exercise price, no? Exercise price. Then, immediately after issuance, the bond without warrant, no? Yan yung kailangan natin. Sells at 97, and then each ordinary share sells at 75, pero this is actually ignored because residual yung sa equity. So, requirement number 1, how much is the proceeds from the issuance of the bonds? Well, kapag sinabi natin proceeds, that's just equal, no, to 1,000 because we have 1,000 bonds times the face amount of 1,000, and then in-issue natin yun at 103. So, times 103%. So, proceeds now is actually equal to magkano? This is equal to 1,030,000 pesos. That's why requirement number 1, 1,030,000 will be our final answer. Okay? Requirement number 2, how much proceeds is allocated to the bonds? Okay? So, magkano daw yung proceeds allocated to the bonds? Well, that's the fair value of the bonds without the warrants. Okay? So, magkano yung fair value of the liability? That's actually equal to 1,000 times 1,000, or that's 1 million, no? Times 97% because according to the problem, the bonds without warrant sells at 97. So, this is actually equal to 970,000. Therefore, requirement number 2, 970,000 will be our final answer. Requirement number 3, magkano daw yung proceeds allocated sa share warrants? Well, share warrants will be equal to the residual amount. That's equal to the proceeds of 1,030,000 minus 970. That's the amount allocated, no, to the financial liability, or this is equal to magkano? 1,030,000 minus 970, or this is equal to 60,000 pesos. So, requirement number 3, 60,000 pesos is our final answer. So, requirement 4, how much is the discount on bonds payable on the date of issuance? So, face amount is 1 million. Paano mo nalaman, sir? 1,000 times 1,000 is 1 million pesos. And then, fair value of liab is 970 lang. So, ibig sabihin, discount will be equal to 30,000 pesos because 970 present value, 1 million face. Okay? So, before tayo pumunta sa number 5, is it okay to journalize this transaction para lang alam natin, no? So, debit cash equal to the proceeds of 1,030,000. Debit discount on bonds payable, which is equal to how much? That's equal once again to 30,000 pesos. Credit, no, bonds payable equal to the face amount of 1 million pesos. Then lastly, credit share warrants equal to how much? Credit share warrants equal to 60,000 pesos. So see to it that these share warrants are part of what? Are part of share premium. Again, these are part, no, of share premium. Manag. Then number 5, how much share premium is credited on the date of issuance? Take note, credited daw, wag yung net. Even though we know na share warrants is part of share premium, wag mong ima-minus yan. Magkakaintindihan ba tayo? So, how to compute this one? Well, here in number 5, all you have to do is what? All you have to do is add the balance of share warrants. Again, add mo lang, no, yung balance ng share warrants, which is 60,000 pesos. Saan? Doon sa proceeds. Doon sa exercise, no? Proceeds from exercise of warrants. So, ilang warrants ba meron tayo? 1,000 bonds. Each bond, dalawa daw ang warrants. So, this is a total of 2,000 warrants, no? So, kung na-exercise lahat ng yan, times mo lang yan sa exercise price, which is 25, makukuha mo na yung proceeds. So, 2,000 times 25, that's actually equal to 50,000 pesos, no? So, ibig sabihin, the total here is equal to 110,000 pesos. Siyempre, i-less mo dyan, no, yung share capital, and as we all know, share capital is always at par. So, 2,000 times the par value of 20 pesos, this is actually equal to 40,000 pesos. So, kung 110 yan, 40 lang yung share capital. The amount credited now to share premium will be equal to 70,000 pesos. That's why the journal entry, no, on the exercise of the warrants is to debit what? To debit share warrants kasi wala na tayong share warrants this time. Wala na tayong outstanding share warrants. Therefore, tanggalin mo na siya. That's equal to 60,000 pesos, no? Debit cash because we receive a total of 50,000. Credit share capital equal to 40,000 pesos. Then lastly, credit share premium equal to 70,000 pesos. Ano ba? Now, what if, no, may expiration yung mga share warrants and nag-expire sila? So, kapag nag-expire yung mga share warrants, see to it, no, ano yung journal entry mo? Well, de-recognize mo na rin sila. So, debit share warrants equal to 60,000 and then credit what? Credit share premium equal to how much? Equal to 60,000 pesos. And see to it, na wala po yung effect sa total sheet. Again, itong journal entry na to, wala siyang effect sa total sheet because share warrants are still part of share premium. Nagkakaintindihan ba tayo? So now, punta tayo dun sa pangalawa. That's the convertible bonds payable. So here, on number 2, on January 1, 2024, no, Pepper Company issued a 3-year, 16,000, 1,000 convertible bonds at 110. So ilan yung face amount ng bonds natin? 16,000 times 1,000 is actually equal to 16 million pesos, no? So if in-issue natin to at 110, magkano yung proceeds from the issuance of the convertible bonds? That is 16 million, no? Times 1.1, or this is equal to 17,600,000. Okay? So, interest is to be paid annually at the stated coupon rate of 12%. That's actually the nominal rate. Every December 31. Then, each bond is convertible at the holder's option. No? Each bond, meron tayong 1,000 bond. 16,000 bond, don't get it wrong. Into 30. So, each bond into 30, 25 par value ordinary shares at any time to maturity. So, on the date of issuance, prevailing market interest rate for similar debt without the conversion privilege is 9%. So, yung gagamitin natin, no, to compute the fair value of the bonds. Then, on the same date, the market price of one ordinary share is 30, which is just an information na ini-ignore natin. Okay? So, here, the bonds were converted kailan? On January 1, 2026. So, here, the requirements are to compute the following items, no? Requirement number 1, equity component of the convertible debt. So here, compute muna natin magkano ba yung fair value of liability because residual yung tinatanong dito sa number 1 eh. So, walang given na quotation. So, present value tayo, no? So, i-present value natin yung principal at yung interest. So, dito, magkano ba yung interest paid natin annually? Well, this is equal to the face amount of 16 million times the nominal rate, no, of 12%. Or this is equal to magkano? 16 million times 0.12 or this is equal to 1,920,000. So, ilalagay ko dito 1,920,000. Then, sa principal, this is equal to 16 million. Okay? So, 3 years to, no? So, compute natin yung mga present value factors. MC ka muna ulit on your calculator, please. So, 1.09 divided by equals. Dapat 1 ang lumabas dyan. Sir, anong ginagawa mo? Nagko-compute po ng present value factors. Sir, paano yan? Nood ka doon sa present value computation and time value of money. Tinuro ko doon yung iba't ibang klase ng present value factors as well as kung kailan sila ginagamit. No? So, balik tayo. M plus, 3 beses kasi 3 years. So, 1, 2, 3. Present value of 1 is actually equal to 0.77218. Tama ba? Then, MR mo, lalabas yung present value factor of ordinary annuity of 1 which is 2.53129. Okay? Then, magkano yung total? Well, MC ka muna ulit, MC. Pwedeng i-multiply mo yan isa-isa, tsaka mo i-add, pero mas madali itong tuturo ko, no? So, 16 million times 0.77218, M plus mo. Makukuha mo dun is 12,354,880. Next, 1,920 times 2.53129, M plus mo ulit, makukuha mo is 4,860,077. Then, MR mo, yun na yung total. And the total here is equal to 17 million what? 17,214,957. Nagkakaintindihan ba? So, if the proceeds, no, is equal to 17,214,957 will be the fair value of the liability, magkano na ngayon yung sa equity element, no? So, equity element of the compound financial instrument will be equal to the proceeds of 17,600,000 minus the fair value of light, which is 17,214,957, or this is equal to 385,000. Again, this is equal to 385,043. Okay? If hindi ka magra-round off, once again, if hindi ka magra-round off, if I'm not mistaken, na makukuha mo po dyan will be equal to 384,704. Sir, bakit naman ganon? May difference, okay? Well, there's a difference of magkano? 385,043 minus 384,704, or that's equal to 339 pesos due to rounding off of present value factor, okay? Once again, since nag-round off tayo ng present value factors, may butal. Pero kapag hindi ka nag-round off, no, ng present value factor, right, walang butal dapat ang makukuha dyan. Nagkakaintindihan ba tayo? Hopefully, okay tayo dun, no? We're good. Now, punta tayo saan? Well, actually, no, sige, ganito. Para walang butal, sige, papatunayan ko lang sa inyo na walang butal. Burahin ko to, and then, ito, i-round off natin to 4 decimal places. Walang magiging butal to eh. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, 1.09 divided by equals 1, 2, 3. This is 7722, no? And then MR, this is 2.5323. So, 6 MC ka muna. Then, 16 million times 0.7722 M plus. Then, 1920 times 2.531 3. Sobra, no? 3.5313 M plus. Then, MR mo, ang lalabas dyan will be equal to 17,215,296. So, kapag 17,215,296 ang nilagay mo dyan, ang makukuha mong sagot is sakto na. This is equal to 384,704. Pero okay lang kahit 5 decimal place as long as malapit, no? Isa lang naman ng malapit, which is alpha. Okay? Number 2, bonds payable carrying value as of December 31, no? 2024. Well, dito, tinuruan kita ng shortcut, no? So, paano nga ulit yung shortcut natin sa carrying amount at the end? Tinuro ko to, no? Saan? Sa amortization table and present value computation sa video natin or other videos sa channel na to or dun sa bonds payable. So, paano i-compute to? This is equal to the carrying amount at the beginning, no? Times 1 point effective rate, then minus the payment. So, yan ang gagamitin natin to compute, no? The carrying amount, kailan? On December 31, 2024. Okay? So, at on January 1, 2024, meron tayong 17,215,296. Times mo yan sa 1.09, no? And then, minus mo yung 1,920 na payment, ang makukuha mo dito will be equal to 16,844,673. That is why, here, in requirement number 2, our final answer will be choice letter Charlie. Okay? Then, requirement number 3, what amount is to be credited to share premium from the equity conversion? Kailan na-convert? January 1, 2026. So, compute mo muna magkaning carrying amount on December 31, 2025, no? So, tuloy mo lang yan. 16,844,673 times 1.09 minus 1,920, or this is equal to 16,440,693. So, paano ko computein yung carrying amount? Simple lang. Computein mo lang yung carrying amount of bonds, no? But take note, no, on the date of conversion dapat. Again, on the date of conversion. Well, na-compute na natin yun. That's equal to 16,440,693. I-add mo dyan yung ating share premium conversion privilege. Sir, paano ka nagkaroon ng ganyan? Simple lang. On the date of issuance, again, on the date of issuance, the journal entry, if you will allow me to journalize, no, is to debit cash equal to the proceeds of 17,600,000. Credit what? Credit bonds payable equal to the fees amount of 16 million. Credit premium on bonds payable, which is equal to magkano? 16 million lang fees. Fair value is 17,215,296. So, meron tayong premium, which is 1,7, which is equal to 1,215,296. Then, credit share premium, no, conversion privilege, which is equal to the equity element, which is equal to 384,704. So, meron tayong share premium conversion privilege, okay? Which is equal to 384,704. So, kung kanina, no, sa problem number 1, proceeds ang ina-add sa share warrants, dito ang ina-add dun sa share premium conversion privilege is yung carrying amount of bonds. Because kanina, may bonds pa rin tayo after the exercise. Kasi share warrants ang in-exercise, pero dito sa number 2, wala nang bonds after, no? Why? Because kinonvert mo na sila into shares, okay? So, magkano yung total dito? The total amount here is equal to 16,440,693 plus 384,704. Again, 16,440,693 plus 384,704, or this is equal to 16,825,397. Okay? I-deduct mo lang dito, of course, yung share capital, and then that's it. So, ilang shares ba ang ating kayang i-issue dito? Well, sabi ng problem, each bond is convertible at the holder's option into 30, no? So, ang ibig sabihin, if meron tayong 16,000 bonds, no? Sabi dito, 16,000 bonds. And then, each bond, pwedeng ma-convert into 30, ilang shares lahat yan? This is a total of 16,000 times 30, or this is equal to 480,000 shares, okay? Times the par value, which is magkano par value natin? Par value of the shares is equal to 25 pesos, so times 25. So, this will be equal to 12 million pesos. So, 16 million total, 12 million ng share capital. So, the amount credited now to share premium will be equal to how much? This will be equal to 4,825,397. That is why, requirement number 3, final answer will be choice letter Charlie. So, sir, ano pong journal entry on the date of conversion para lang kompleto yung ating problem, no? Well, the journal entry is to debit bonds payable equal to the face amount of 16 million. Debit premium on bonds payable kasi may natitira pa eh. 440 pa yun, no? So, that's equal to 440,693. Debit share premium conversion privilege, which is equal to 384,704. Credit share capital equal to the face amount of 12 million pesos. And lastly, credit share premium equal to 4,825,397. Okay? So, ngayon, punta tayo sa kasunod. What if hindi mo kinonvert? What if, no? Ni-retire. So, for numbers 4 to 5, assume instead that the bonds were retired at 98 on January 1, 2026. Then, the prevailing quoted value of the bonds without the conversion privilege on that date is 96, no? So, dito, compute mo muna magkano yung retirement price, no? Sir, bakit? Because i-allocate mo ulit yan, eh. So, magkano retirement price? Retirement price is equal to the face amount of the bonds, which is 16 million. We retired it at 98. So, 98%. So, this is equal to how much? Alamin natin. 16 million times 0.98. This is equal to 15,680,000. Okay? Hatiin mo ngayon yan doon sa bonds payable natin or doon sa liability at doon sa share premium conversion privilege natin, no? So, always residual etong sa conversion privilege. So, magkano yung sa bonds? That's equal to the face amount of 16 million, no? Times 96% because that's the value of the bonds without the conversion privilege. So, 16 million times 0.96, this is equal to 15,360,000. So, kung ang total na na-receive natin is 15,680,000, ang na-allocate sa liab is 15,360, ang ma-allocate ngayon sa share premium conversion privilege will be equal to 320,000. Okay? Then, on the date of retirement, kino-compare po natin yung allocation na yan dun sa carrying amount nung conversion privilege at nung bonds, no? So, here, start tayo doon sa bonds payable, no? Again, start po tayo dito sa bonds payable. So, once again, kino-compare natin yung carrying amount on the date of retirement versus, saan natin yung kino-compare? Versus sa allocated retirement price. Sir, bakit natin kailangan i-compare? Ganito kasi yan. If the carrying amount is higher dun sa allocated retirement price, anong meron? Well, mas malaki yung utang mo compared dun sa binabayad mo. So, kung mas maliit yung binabayad mo, no, meron tayong tatawagin na gain. Liwanag? But, if the allocated retirement price is higher, ibig sabihin lang yan, mas malaki yung binabayad mo compared dun sa carrying amount ng utang mo. So, kung mas malaki ang binabayad mo, meron tayong loss at part po ito ng alin? Part po yan ng profit or loss. Nagigets? Well, for the bonds payable, magkano ba yung carrying amount natin off on the date of retirement? Well, same date, no? That's equal to 16,440,693. So,
440, 693. Magkano allocated transaction price? That's equal to 15,360,000 lang. So, mas malaki yung carrying amount compared dun sa binabayad natin. So, dito, meron tayong gain, no? Magkano yung gain natin? 16,440, 693 minus 15,360,000 or this is equal to 1,080,693 gain. Okay? That is why kung tatanungin ka sa requirement number 4, gain or loss on retirement of bonds to be recognized in profit or loss, our final answer will be equal to choice letter Bravo. Okay? Now, punta tayo doon sa share premium conversion privilege. Okay? So, same thing dito, no? Kailangan mong i-compare ang dalawang bagay. Ano yung dalawang bagay? Yun yung carrying amount on the date of conversion, of course, versus the allocated retirement price. Sir, bakit naman? Bakit? Because if the carrying amount is higher, kamukha lang nung kanina, no? Mas malaki yung value ng inisyo mong conversion privilege compare sa binabayad mo. So, dito, meron ulit tayong gain. Pero kapag yung retirement price mas malaki, loss tayo dyan kasi binabayaran mo ng mas malaki eh. Pero itong gain or loss na to hindi na sa P&L kasama. Saan to kasama? Part po yan ng shareholders equity. Again, part yan ng shareholders equity. Actually, yung gain, no? Again, yung gain dito, saan i-credit? I-credit po yan sa share premium. And then yung loss, i-debit po yan sa retained earnings account. Okay? Well, on this problem, carrying amount is how much? Carrying amount is that's equal to, nasan yun? That's equal to 440, hindi, joke lang, 384,704, no? So, lalagay ko dito, 384,704. Then, magkano mo binabayaran? Binabayaran mo lang ng 320, so mas malaki yung carrying amount. So, meron tayong gain dito, at magkano yung gain? The gain here is equal to 64,704. And once again, part po yan ng alin? Part po yan ng shareholders equity to be credited to share premium. That's why number 5, gain or loss on retirement of equity component to be recognized in shareholders' equity. Our final answer will be choice letter delta. Okay? Pero kapag tinanong, no, to be recognized in profit or loss, ang isasagot mo will be 0. Okay? Now, what will be the journal entry on the date of retirement? This will be the last journal entry, no? Na ituturo ko sa inyo for this topic. So, here, the journal entry will be to debit bonds payable kasi nga, i-retire na natin eh. Equal to the phased amount of 16 million pesos pa din. Debit premium on bonds payable, which is yung natitirang premium pa rin na 440,693. Debit share premium conversion privilege pa rin, which is equal to 384,704. So, anong napansin mo? Whether retirement or conversion, pareho lang ang debit natin, no? Once again, whether conversion on retirement or retirement, pareho ang debit. Sa credit tayo nagkaiba. Sa conversion, credit share capital and credit share premium. Sa retirement, credit cash tayo, no? Equal to the proceeds of how much? The retirement price is equal to 15,680,000. Credit ano pa? Credit gain on retirement, yun yung papasok sa P&L, no? Which is equal to 1,080,693. Then lastly, credit share premium para dun sa isa pang gain, no? Which is equal to 64,704. So, patunayan natin na banggayan, 16 million plus 440,693 plus 384,704. Total of the debit is equal to 16,825,397. Now, magkano yung total ng credit natin? 15,680 plus 1,080,693 then plus 64,704 or this is equal to 16,825,397 as well. So this is the journal entry, no, on the date of retirement. So this will be the end of compound financial instrument. Hopefully, marami ka natutunan sa discussion natin for today. See you once again tomorrow because tomorrow we'll discuss accounts payable and notes payable. Keep safe and God bless, guys. Bye-bye.